Throughout your career, you've interpreted deeply complex characters, often balancing strength and vulnerability. What do you look for in a role today, and what still makes you say yes to a script?
I love that you said that. Thank you. I think the same things, strength and vulnerability, because I think those are the things that um, we all embody, right? We embody a fierce desire to know who we are, to know who we are in this world, to just the experience of being human beings. And it's so different for each of us, and yet the basics are the same for each of us. So how well it's been written, how what is the interesting perspective that the writer has about it, what are the demands that they will have from me, can I experience something different playing the role? Those are the things that I look for. I like a complicated experience. If it's too simple, it's predictable, and then I think it's, you know, boring.
The Ischia Film Festival celebrates the relationship between cinema and landscape. How important are locations in shaping a character for you? A set, an island, a city? Do they influence you, inspire you, and guide you?
I think the location is another character in the film. It's set in that place for a reason. So you have, and certain scenes wouldn't happen if it weren't for the environment. For instance, in Miller's Crossing, there's a scene that happens in the rain. That's a breakdown scene. There's a similar scene that happens in the mist. It's a breakdown scene, and it happens to be in the rain. And the rain is sets the tone of the environment for those particular scenes. If it was sunny, the scene couldn't happen. It simply couldn't happen. So I think they can provide something that feels like support. They can also provide counterpoint. The most devastating moment in the most beautiful place is incredible counterpoint. But listen, you out of Africa, right? I mean, it's like Africa is the landscape, is the character, is a character. So other scenes that I've been in, the store in the mist, it's that's the important the 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 building is the important character there.
As an actress, how are you experiencing the transformation of the film industry today? Is it still an actor driven cinema, or is there a risk that the creative voice could be lost amid algorithms and fast content?
I don't consider the cinema an actor driven cinema even before. It's director driven, in my opinion. The actors world is the theater. It's live. It's once the playwright's done, the director's done. It's just you out there with the audience. So it's a very intimate experience. That's the actor's world. In cinema, it's the director's world, and they, I hope, will continue to use real actors and not AI actors to do the roles. So I would say at the moment it's still people driven. But look at any action film; it depends on the film. A film like last night, Spiaga Vetro, I think I'm saying it right. You, there's no way you can do that with AI. It's a just incredibly rich human experience. But an action film, it's being done. It's easy. They can do it.
Is there a role among all those you've played that changed you off set as well? So, a character that left a lasting impression on you?
Yeah, each character you invite inside and you take home with you, and they change you a little bit, and then you go on. But I think that in not Miller's Crossing, I think later in a film called Used People, actually, I think that I was changed a little bit by the understanding of the mental world of that character. And then in Pollock, it was just working with Ed Harrison, working with that woman, Lee Krasner, or playing her. One of the things about Lee is that she was perfectly dysfunctional, right? In that she gave up her whole self to support Pollock. And as soon as she let go, her work exploded. And I think it's a good message for women. I mean, especially Lee wasn't a mother, but women who are mothers, wives, they often will diminish themselves. They give up themselves to support the husband, the family, the children. And then they wake up and they go, wait, who am I? Who am I? What do I have to say? And it can be a very painful experience. So I think that playing her made me just really have such empathy and such dedication to the act of realizing yourself while you support other people, but how to find the balance where you don't lose yourself.
You've worked with many renowned directors, both male and female. What kind of collaboration do you seek with a director? Do you prefer precise guidance or the freedom to discover the character on your own?
Frankly, I prefer to have more freedom, but it's a balance. If you hear no too much in the beginning, no, do this, no, do this, no, do this, then you feel like, what am I bringing? Do you want me to breathe out of my right nostril or my left nostril? What do you want? I mean, it can be very reductive. So I like a sense of freedom. All that said, a director who has no idea what they want, um, when you're a young actor, that can be very scary. When you're an older actor like me, you can, now I know the business, I know enough to go, what about this? What about this? What about this? Because I think like a director now. When I was young, Miller's Crossing, I was like, oh, where do you want me to go? What should I do? I'm just interpreting the character. And the Coens were very specific. They knew exactly what they wanted. So it was good to have that. But I do remember once I was working on with Clint Eastwood, and I said, because now I'd been in the business for a little bit, and we were doing a scene, and I said, Clint, how about if I go over here and then I do blah, 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 and then I sit down? And he said, how about if you just do what I said do? I said, okay, that's what I'll do. What you said do, that's what I'll do. Because he had a specific vision and he wasn't interested in changing the shot. But sometimes, especially, I find now, especially if you're doing a lower budget film or that you're more in collaboration with the director, the ideas are important and they say, oh, I love that. Or you can think of something that they hadn't seen and they loving putting it in the movie, and that's good.
When you think of the new generation of actresses, is there something you would tell them today? Something you wish someone had told you when you were starting out?
I love the new generation of actresses because I feel like on some level they're ahead of me where I was when I was starting out. We weren't as vocal about things that we needed at times, things that made us uncomfortable. But I would also say, be tough. Be tough. Don't be so particular that if every single need isn't met, it's a problem. Be tough. Be a team player. Get in there and be a team player. Roll up your sleeves. Get your hands dirty. Do the hard work and train. I love an actor who has some training, who has some vocal work. I'm on so many sets right now, and the actor's just talking like that. They're talking like that. I can't hear you. Like in real life, if you were standing there and I'm standing here, I could hear you. Why are we all talking like that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So be real, be loving. I would always say be loving. Help other people, the people that you help pull up. There's room. There's one thing I would say to anybody coming into this business. I would say it's not a pyramid. Don't think of it like a pyramid, because if it's a pyramid, somebody's always falling off and always falling down. It's a circle, and the circle expands and closes, but it's a circle. There's room for everybody, and just know that. Be smart about it. Know who you are.
Grazie.
Thank
Grazie.
you so much.
Quindi sì, grazie. Ci accomodiamo